Hey guys, welcome back to Homework Help for Year 5 Term 2 Week 4. Now on page 6 we have the logic grid. Okay, I've shown you this one before. All you gotta do is just use one of the grids. So we don't need the bottom one, we can just use the right hand side one. Okay. Oops. Now it says, okay, I can just ignore that. Actually, I might read it. David, Melinda and Cole are second graders in Miss Goodman's Miss Heath and Miss Myers classes. They are assigned coat hooks numbered 8, 14 and 16. Hook your way through the clues to discover which student is assigned which coat hook in the hallway. Okay, so the clues. In the clue A, you got David and the boys in Miss Goodman's class. Actually, you know what? It says David and the boy. Okay, so we need to establish people who are boys and the girls. So David will be a boy, Melinda will be a girl, and Cole, I don't know, Cole probably be a boy. I think it's a boy. Yep. All right, now let's see. Only one girl and 2 boys. Okay, David and the boy. So that means the boy in Miss Goodman's class. That means so this must be Cole. Okay, so that means Cole must be in Miss Goodman's class. So we look at Cole's and Miss Goodman and we'll put a tick there. Only have, in Miss Goodman classes have only one coat separating their hook. That means that David and Melinda, David and Cole. So David and Melinda and Cole. So whatever hooks they have, it'll be separated. That means that if the only way they can be separated would be that David is 8 and Cole's 16, or David is 16 and Cole's is 8. That's okay. Now it says the girl in Miss Myers' class. The girl, there's only one girl, so that would be she'll be in Miss Myers' class. Put a tick there. Often leaves her book bag in the hallway. Mrs. Heath's student is okay. By the way, once you tick that, you know that David has to be Miss Heath. So Mrs. Heath's student, so it's referring to David, okay, is assigned to hook 16. So if David is 16, we will tick David 16. If David is 16, that means Cole's must be 8. Cole's is 8, that means Melinda must be 14. The hook 14. There you go, there is the answer. Okay, so for question 2, it says, by finding the area of the cross-section, find the volume of these solids. Now, we're asked to find the volume of this solid. Now, you have to understand what a cross-section is. The cross-section, in this case, they've shaded it for you. So you need to find the area of this shaded bit, and then we're going to multiply it by how much of that shape is being stacked to make a 3D shape. So in this case, it's stacked 3 centimeters this way, and we just have to find the cross-section area and multiply by 3 to find the volume. Okay, this is how volume works. Imagine you have a piece of circle. Okay. And imagine if you were to stack that circle. Keep stacking the circle. The area of that circle, keep stacking it up, and eventually you will create a cylinder, right? So the cross section is the area that is being stacked up. So for a cylinder, the area is a circle, and to find the volume of the cylinder, we just find the area of the circle, multiply by how high or how long we're stacking it. So that's the idea of what cross section means. So let me just get rid of all this. Okay. So in this case, you see the shaded region. If we stack this area like this, we'll get this volume, right? So that means we need to find the area of the shaded region and then multiply it by, in this case, is 3. All right. Or you could do another way, and that is you can divide this shape into 2 pieces. You got the volume 1 and volume 2. And then you just find the volume 1 and find the volume 2, get it, what it is, and then add it together and you get the total volume. Now we can do it this way, but the question is asking us to find the cross-section area method. Right, so let's use this method. This is what we do here. So I'm not gonna break the shape into 2 volumes. I want to find the area of this shaded bit. So to find the area of the shaded bit, we know this is 4 and this is 5. So I'm going to redraw this area here. Okay. Looks something like this. Okay. And let's see, we got here is 4, here is 5, here is 7, and here is 6. So we gotta find the area of this shape. To do that, I'm gonna imagine that this used to be a big rectangle that has this missing piece at the top right. So the area of the big rectangle, I'm gonna call it area of big, A for area. Area of big is equal to, we're gonna find the area of that multiplied by that. So 6 times 7. So do 6 times 7, that'll give you 42. Now the area of the small piece, I'm going to color that in blue. So we're looking for this area here, the piece that's been removed from the big rectangle. So area of small is equal to, what's the dimensions? You got dimension which is 4 and 5. So 4 times 5, that's equal to 20. And what do we do to these two numbers? Obviously we take it away, right? So 42 minus 20 is equal to 22 centimeters squared. So the area, this is called the cross-section area. So cross-section area, or I just call it CSA. That's equal to 22 centimeters squared. Now to find the volume is basically the cross-section area times by how long we're stacking it or how high we're stacking it. In this case, we're stacking it 3 centimeters long, so times it by 3. So that equals to 22 times 3, which equals to 66 centimeters cubed. And that's the volume. That's the first one. Okay. Next piece. Now this one, now we need to find the area of this upside down T shape kind of thing. So how are we going to do that? Let's divide this shape into 2 pieces. Alright, you got 2 by 2. The area of this must be 4. Now let's find the area of this rectangle at the bottom here. We know that the height is 2 and the length or the width is 2, the length is 12. So 2 times 12 is 24. So together, the area of the cross section, actually I want to write, the cross section area is equal to 4 plus 24, and that's going to equal to 28. So this whole thing here, I'm going to color it in, this is 28, okay? Now this is the cross-section area. Now what do? To find the volume, simply find the cross-section area times it by how long are we stacking it? We're stacking it 5 centimeters in that direction. So you multiply it by 5. So that equals to 28 times 5. And that's going to give you 140 centimeters squared. Cube. Sorry, that's the volume. There's a second answer. Alright, now to find the volume of this one, the third one, we need to find the area, the cross-section area, which again they shaded for us. So it's easy to see which is the cross-section area. So you find the area of all this. Okay, so I'm going to divide this shape into a triangle and a rectangle. Now the rectangle is 6 centimeters wide. How long is it? It's 10 centimeters because this is 10. So therefore, if this is 10, this must be 10 as well. Okay, so this is 10, 6 times 10, 60. Now we need to find the area of this triangle. Okay, how do you find the area of the triangle? Let's see. Well, I'm just going to redraw the triangle down here. This is a right angle triangle. Now, what's the height of this triangle? The height here is the same as the height here, and that's equal to 6. Now, what is the length of this triangle? What is the length here? This one here. Well, we know from here to here is 15, right? 15. But from here to here is 10. So 15 minus 10, this must be 5. So the length of the triangle must be 5. Hope that makes sense. So that's 5 there, and that's 10 there. That makes 15. Okay. So to find the area of a triangle, area of a triangle equals to a half times base times the height, which equals to a half times the base. The base is 5, and the perpendicular height is 6. So that'll be a half times 5 times 6 is 30. Half of 30 must be 15 centimeters squared. All right. So the cross section area. Let me just draw a little border. Cross section area is equal to the total area of the rectangle plus the area of the triangle. Rectangle is 60, triangle is 15, and the cross section area is going to be 75 centimeters squared. Now the volume is equal to the cross section area times by how long are we stacking this? Oops. So you got cross section area, and we're just going to stack it. Okay, we're going to stack that area 6 centimeters this way. 6 centimeters, right? We're going to stack that area that way, and we'll get the volume. So we get the cross section area, which is 75, and we multiply it by 6. So that's equal to 75 times 6. Work out the volume in centimeters cubed by yourself. You can do that. Okay, let's go to the next page. Right, now it says harder questions. Calculate the area of the shaded cross section, then find the volume. All right, again, we need to find the area of the shaded bit. So that means you've got to find the area of this piece. Okay, now to do that, this is basically, let's look at the area flat, like, flat on. Let's see what we get. Okay, so it's pretty much a square. You got 6 centimeters by 6 centimeters, and inside you have another square. Okay, it's not the best looking square, but whatever. And this is 2 by 2. So what we do is we're going to find, if you want to find the shaded region, you need to find the area of the big square. Okay, so the area of the big square is equal to what? 6 times 6 equals to 36. Now the area of the small square, again, length times width, which is, remember this is 2, this is 2, so 2 times 2 equals to 4, and then we take it away. So 36 take away 4 will be 32 centimeters squared. This is called the cross section area. So cross section area is 32. Now to find the volume. All right, volume is equal to cross section area times what number? We're going to times it by 10, because we're stacking this shape 10 centimeters this way, and we make a 3D shape, we make a volume. Okay, so that means we must multiply cross section area by 10, so you're going to get 32 centimeters squared times by 10 centimeters, and you're going to get 320 centimeters cubed. There's your answer there. Okay. Now the next question is very similar to question 4, very similar to this one, except the shape that's being cut out is a triangle, not a square. Okay. So imagine if I just draw this face like this, rectangle, and you have a triangle that's being cut out. Oops. Let's try that again. Oh, nope. Okay, back to 3. Okay. Oh. Something like that. And this is, well, let me just move that a bit. Oh. Not it, not it. Okay. So this is about 5 centimeters, and the height of this triangle, the perpendicular height, is 4 centimeters. And the rectangle is 12 centimeters long by, what's this height here? The height will be the same as this, so it will be 8 centimeters. So let's find the cross-section area, which is the area of this shaded piece here. Area of this shaded piece, okay? So I'm just gonna maybe color that in a little bit. There you go. You find that area. Right. So let's go back to this. To find that area, the blue one I colored in, we need to find the area of the rectangle, the big rectangle, which is, so this I'm gonna call it the area of the big, and that's equal to 8 times by 12. 8 times 12 is equal to 96. Now the area of the small piece, the triangle, that's the triangle there. To find the area of a triangle, remember it's half times base. Base is 5 centimeters times the height, which is 4 centimeters. And that's equal to half of 20, which is 10. And what do we do to these two numbers? Well, we take 96. So we take 96, take away 10, and you get what? 86 centimeters squared. And this is known as the cross-section area. Now, to find the volume, again, we're going to do volume equals to cross-section area times by how long are we stacking it? We're stacking it 10 centimeters. So you times it by 10. Okay, work out the volume on your own. It'll be in centimeters cubed. Don't forget to write that in the units. All right, question 5. A water tank has length of 3 meters. So, okay, so it looks like a rectangular prism. So I'm just going to draw that. And I'm going to duplicate this here. Duplicate. So this one like this. Okay, this rectangular prism is actually looking pretty nice. Now let me just do this. There you go. Nah, actually can't be bothered. Alright. So we have a water tank has length 3 meters. So this is, oops, still using the dotted line. This is 3 meters. The breadth is 5 meters. And the depth is 2 meters. Okay. So something like that. The water tank is half full. And 0.5 kiloliters of water is added. What is the volume now? So, oh, this is a tricky question. All right. So at the moment it's half full. So let's find out how much water, how much is half full. Let's find the volume of the full thing. The volume of this shape, let me just move it around a bit. It's kind of in the way. Whoops. Okay, that's no good. Oh, how come it's, oh, right. Gotta combine these two. All right. So to find the volume of this shape, volume is equal to 3 meters times by, remember, length times width times height. So 3 times 5 times 2 is equal to 30 meter cube. Okay, now you need to remember this part here, that 1 meter cube is equal to 1,000 liters, or you could say that's 1 kiloliter. All right, and as if by magic, the water has filled halfway, just like what the question is asking. Oh, cool. All right, now since we got the volume as 30 meters cube, and 1 meter cube is equal to 1 kiloliter, therefore the volume, we can rewrite that as 30 kiloliters. All right, now it says the tank is half full. So at the moment you can see in the picture, it's half filled with water. Okay, so if it's half full, the whole tank can hold 30 kiloliters. So when it's half full, that means the volume of this water is going to be only 15 kiloliters. It's only taking up half this, the volume of the entire tank, which is 30. So it must be 15 kiloliters of water. Now it says if we add, the tank is half full and 0.5 kiloliter of water is added to the tank. So that means we have to add another 0.5 kiloliters. And how much, what's the volume now? Okay, the volume is going to equal to 15.5 kiloliters. And there's your answer there. Now we're just doing, this question. Okay, you want to do this, the first one, you can do this as 2.26 minus 0.478. Now the top one only has two numbers after the decimal place. So the third one, just put a 0 there and you can minus it. The next one is, okay, this is, you want to divide this one by this one. So the first one, we can't divide it like this. You have to change the first one into an improper fraction. So that will be 3 on 2. Okay, because 1 times 2 is 2, 2 plus 1 will give you your 3, and then the bottom number stays the same, so 3 on 2. Now we're dividing by 6. 6 is a whole number, so 6 is going to be 6 over 1, so divided by 6 over 1. Now if you remember how to divide fractions, we have to do what? We must flip the first one, the second one upside down. So instead of 6 over 1, we say 1 over 6, and we change the divide into a times, and you can get the answer there. Don't forget to simplify your answer, okay? Next one. Question 3. Okay, something minus this will give me this, right? So how do you find that something? Well, to find a something, we're going to take this and add with this. So 2.76 plus with 2.20. Add them up and you will get the answer for that one. Okay. Next one is quick method. We're not going to multiply like this. We're going to multiply 2 times 50 first. 2 times 50 is 100, and then 100 times 47. So it'll be 100 times 47. Get the answer? Next one, you're going to take, you're going to change this one to improper fraction, change this one to improper fraction. What do we get? The first one we change improper fraction, you're going to say 3 times 2 is 6, 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7 over 2. Let me rub this out. So 3.5 is same as 7 on 2. Now we minus. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 plus 3 is 11. So 11 over 4. Okay? So do that, minus, get the answer. Now the next one is the pattern. The top number is always a 1. So I believe the next one should be a 1. And the bottom number is 16, and then 8, and then 4, and then 2. So what's happening here? It's going down, but it's going down pretty quickly. So you have to divide by something. What do you think? Divided by 2. Divided by 2. Divided by 2. So get this number divided by 2, get the answer there. Okay, next one. Oh, this is too easy. You can do that on your own. Question 8. 10 buns at 23 cents each. So that means that 1 bun is equal to 23 cents. 2 bun equals to 46 cents. What's 10 buns? That's the question what it's asking for. How many for 10 buns? How much will it cost? So 10 times 46 and you get the answer. Oh, sorry, 10 times 23 cents each. Now divide 1.5 by 10. Remember, when you divide a number by 10, all right, the decimal place is going to move to the left by one movement. So the answer will be, so imagine you have the number 1. Oh, let me just rub this out. Imagine you have 1.5. If you divide it by 10, this decimal place is going to move to the left. Now there's a bunch of zeros here. Okay, so if you move to the left, it's going to be, that means the decimal place is now over here. Okay, so the answer is, ignore that 0 there, it's just 0.15. Okay, you can do this one by yourself. Question number 11. Express as a fraction in the simplest form. What it means is that 12 on 15 is not the simplest form. You have to simplify it. So what can I divide 12 and 15 by? Work it out, get the answer. Question 12. 99 rulers at 26 cents each. So one ruler, what the question means is that one ruler is going to cost you 26 cents. Okay, so what is 99 rulers? How much is that going to cost? So why don't we just do 99 times 26? Get the answer. Now 0.25 of 1 kilogram. Okay, so 1 kilogram is going to equal to 1,000 grams. So let's express everything as 1,000 grams. So 1 kilogram is 1,000 grams. Okay, 0.25. That means you have to multiply. So 0.25 of means times. So the question really is, what is 0.25 of means times? So we put a times it of 1 kilogram. Let's change kilogram to grams. So multiply this number by 0.25 times it by 1,000. So what happens when you multiply 0.25 times 1,000? 1,000 has how many zeros? 3 zeros. Okay. So that means we're going to move the decimal place to the right 3 times. 1, 2, let's put some 0 to see where it ends. So let me just do that again. I'm going to put in a couple of zeros here to see where the decimal place will land. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. So the answer is 250. Dot. There's a decimal place there, which means it's 250. Okay. Gave you the answer for that one for free. Next one, write the prime factors of 51. Oh, okay, so 51, what numbers can... the prime factors. Factors are what the numbers that 51 can be divided by. The prime numbers are the numbers that can only be divided by 1 in itself. So for example, prime numbers include numbers like 1. Actually, no, 1 doesn't count for... okay. Let's see, it was 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. These are prime numbers. They can only be divided by 1 and the number itself, 11. 7 can only be divided by 1 and 7. 4 is not a prime number because 4 can be divided by 1 and 4, but also by 2 and 2. See? So 4 is not a prime number. That's what prime numbers mean. So when the question asks you, what is the prime factors of 51? So let's look at 51. 51. What can 51 be divided by? We know it can be divided by 3. Okay. 51 divided by 3 will give me 1, 21, 17. Okay, these are the prime factors. These are prime numbers. 3 and 17. So that means write the prime factors of 51. Well, there's 3 and 17. Done. Question 15. Fiona has read 68 pages of the 163 pages in her reading book. How many pages must she read each day if she is to finish the book in one school week? One school week. Okay. So that means that she has 7 days, actually school week, so there's only 5 days. School week only has 5 days because we only goes from school from Monday to Friday. So she has 5 days to read it. And she reads 68, she has already read 68 pages. So let's do 100 and 63 minus 68. Okay. Because she already read 68 pages, so we need to know how much more pages she needs to read left. So we do a little subtraction here, and you're gonna get, let's see, 13 minus 8, you get a 5. This will be a 7, this will be a 9. That means she's got 95 more pages to go. Okay, so 95 more pages. Now she has to read it within 5 days. So we need to take 95 divided by 5 to see how much she reads per day. Because the question is, how many pages must she read each day? That's the question. Okay, so divided by 5 and you will get the answer per day. Work it out by yourself, please. Question 16. If 100 garden steaks cost $66, how much for 25 steaks? Okay. Now, 25 steaks compared to 100 steaks. Okay, this is 25 steaks is 1/4 of 100 steaks. How do I know this? Okay, well, I just put 25. I shall put it here. 25 over 100. Let's compare them. We can divide top and bottom by 5. You will get 5 over 20. Divided again by 5, you get 1 over 4. So 25 over 100 is 1/4. So that means that if 100 garden steaks cost $66, so what's 1/4 of it? How much would it cost? So divide this by 4. Do 66 divided by 4 as a fraction, and give me the mixed numeral equivalence. Change it to mixed numeral, and that's your answer. Question 17. If my quotient is 10 and 1/5, what's my dividend? All right, so let's revise this whole dividend and quotient thing again. So when you have a number, let's say 8 divided by 4 equals 2. Now this number, the very first number you divide, this is called your dividend. And this is called your, the number you divided by is called your divisor. And the result is called your quotient. So the question is, if my result is 10 and, so something divided by something will give me a result of 10 and 1 over 5. Now we can put this as a fraction as well. We can say something divided by something. Okay, so this will be your dividend. The top number is the dividend. And this is your divisor. Okay, and the quotient is 10, and that's the answer. Okay, the quotient. So as you can see here, we can change this 10 and 1 over 5 into an improper fraction, and we'll get this one, right? So 10 and 1/5. So 10 and 1 over 5. Change it to improper fraction. You get 10 times 5 is 50 plus 1, so 51 over 5. There you go. This is your dividend. And that's your answer as well. Because the question is what's my dividend? Well, my dividend is 51. What's my divisor? If the question asks you for the divisor is 5. My quotient is 10 and 1/5. Okay. Next question. Question 18. Find the number of square meters in a floor measuring 18 by 9. So imagine you have a square... a square floor. This is not a square floor. This is a rectangular floor. Okay. So this will be 18 meters by 9 meters. And it says find the number of square meters. So find the area in square meters. What is the area? Okay, you can work it out. Not too hard. Change from $10 after purchasing 10 sweets at 9 cents. How much is it going to cost you if you buy 10 sweets at 9 cents each? So one sweet is cost you 9 cents. 10 sweet will cost you 10 times 9 will be 90 cents. Alright? And you have $10. So what's $10? Take away 90 cents. You can work it out. Now. Let me just rub that out. Question 20 says John's watch reads 11:46. If the digital clock showed 1:06, what was the difference in time? So this, let me see, this is close to midnight. This one's close to midnight. This one's past midnight. So how much time has passed between these two times? Can you work it out? That shouldn't be too hard. I'll leave that to you. Next page. All right. It says simplify. Okay, no problem. Let's work this out. So let's do the first one. Oops, what happened here? Oh, right. Okay, so when you have 0.2 times 0.5 times 0.7. Okay, I like to change this one to a whole number. 2, this whole number will be 5, and this whole number will be 7. Then I can multiply this easy. What's 2 times 5 times 7? That'll be 70, isn't it? Decimal place will be there. 70 is a whole number, so decimal place will be after this 0. Okay. Now, to change from 0.2 to 2, I must move the decimal place to the right. How many times? 1 time. 1 time. This one move it 1 time, and this one move it 1 time to make it into a whole number. So altogether, I have moved decimal place 3 times to the right. So whatever my answer is, I must move the decimal place 3 times back to the left. So let's put in some zeros and see where this decimal place will lie after I move it 3 times back to the left. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So the answer is going to be, whoops. So the answer is going to be this number here, equal to 0.07, and that's it. You can put a 0 there or not, doesn't really matter. And that's, oh yeah, that's the answer. So there should be B. Okay, you can minus this by yourself. This is just two decimals minusing each other. Now, what does this mean? Simplify. 2 to the power 5 means 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 5 times, okay? And then you multiply that with 9 squared. That means 9 times 9. Can you work out the answer for this? Yes, you can. Question 4. All right, so 2 is a whole number, so put it over 1, okay? So 2 over 1 minus, actually, you know what? It might be easier if we can see this. What is 3 divided by, let's change it into a decimal. What's 3 divided by 1,000? So let's look at the number 3. The number 3 is like this with a decimal place at the end of the 3. Now we divide this number by 1,000. 1,000 has 3 zeros, okay? So which means that when we divide, we move the decimal place to the left 3 times, okay? So let's put in some zeros before the 3 to see where the decimal place will land. It's going to move it back 3 times, so 1, 2, 3. So the answer is, when 3 over 1,000, if you change it to a decimal, you're going to get 0.003. So the question is, what is 2 minus 0.003? So what's 2 minus, I'll put minus there, 0.003. Let's put in some zeros for this 2 so we see what we get. So minus it, and you will get a decimal number. You can work it out by yourself. Question 5 and 6. On a map, 2.5 millimeters represents a distance of 12 kilometers. Okay. How many kilometers will be represented by a map length of 6.25? Okay. So, what that means is that you have on a map. Okay. So, 2.5, I think 2.5 millimeters is gonna, this is on the map is 2.5 millimeters, but in real life that's 12 kilometers. Okay, so let me just draw that again in a table format. Okay, so I'm gonna have a map distance compared to the real distance. The map distance is for 2.5 millimeters. This will represent 12 kilometers in real life. So the question is, how many kilometers will be represented by a map length of 6.25 millimeters? Okay, and that's going to equal to what? Let me see. I think that if I want to know how much times larger this 6.25 is. So let's do 6.25 divided by 2.5. Okay. This is kind of hard. All right, let's see. 6 divided by 2 will be... Actually, ignore the decimals for now. What is 62 divided by 25? That will be 2. 2 times 25 is 50. Take it away. What's 62? Take away 50. You get 2, you get 1. And bring down the next number, 5. Okay, what's 125 divided by 25? And that will be 5. 5 times 25 will be 125. Take it away. No remainders. Now, we know that the decimal place has to be here, because the answer cannot be 25. 2.5 times 25 will be 50 or 60 something. It can't. So it can't be 6.25. So we have to have a decimal place between the 2 and the 5. So that means, what that means is that from 2.5 to 6.25, we multiply it by 2.5. Okay, so that means we must multiply this by 2.5. So can you work out what that is? Multiply 12 by 2.5, see what you get? I'll leave that to you. Okay, next one, question 6. What distance on the map would correspond to a distance of 2 towns which are 300 kilometers apart? So again, you have the map and you have the real life distance. Now we know that 2.5 millimeters is 12 kilometers in real life. Now the question is, if it's 300 kilometers, what is this? How many millimeters would be on the map? So now we need to know how much larger is 300 compared to 12. So let's see. 12 times what is 300? So take 300 and divide it by 12. Put it over 12. Let's divide top and bottom by 2. You get 150 over 6. Let's divide that by 3. You get 50 over what? 2? We're simplifying this fraction, okay? This division fraction here. It'll be 50 over 2. So what's 50 divided by 2? That's 25.5. That means that... how do I put this somewhere? What that means is this. That means that from this number 12 to 300, we multiplied by 25.5. Okay, so if you multiply the right hand side by 25.5, what do we do to the left hand side? We multiply by 25.5. Okay, so see if you can work out what that is. Question 6. Question 7. Okay, question 7 is 1,001 times. Okay, you can work out that by yourself. Just do long multiplication. So 3 to 4 times 1,001. Work it out. Okay, question 8. Only one of the following statement is true. Which is it? So again, you got to understand BODMAS. Okay, so let's look at the first one. Let's look at the left hand side. So let's look at this side here. We do 3 times 4 plus 6. So 4 and 6 must be done first because we need the brackets first. This will be 10. 3 times 10, that'll be 30. So all of this stuff on the left hand side will be 30. Now what's the right hand side? What's BODMAS? BODMAS says you got to do the times first, then we do the plus. So 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 6 will be 18. And so all of this will be 18. 30 equals 18? Not true. Okay, now we try the next one. So look at the left hand side of the equal sign. You have we got to do multiplication first because that's order of operation. We don't have to do the multiplication first. So 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 8 will give me what? 14. Now let's see what the right hand side is. 2 times 11 is 22. 14 equals 22? No, not true. Okay. And then so it's going to be either C or D. You guys can work it out. Try and we'll see what D you get. Question 9. The 8s in the number have 28,481 have different values. The difference in their values is, so what's the value of this one? This is the ones, the 10, the 100, this is the 1,000. That means the first 8 has a value of 8,000 because it's in the thousands column. Okay. The second 8 is in the tens column, so that has a value of 10, so it's 80. That has a value of 80. So difference. Difference means take away. Take away, get the answer. Question 10. A drink is made up of 2 parts cordial. So here we have the drink. Okay, this drink, imagine if I draw like... Yes, I can draw a rectangle. Is made of 2 parts cordial and 11 parts water. What's 2 parts plus 11 parts? How many parts does this drink have altogether? It has 13 parts. So imagine if I cut this shape into 13 even pieces, even parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, don't need this one. There you go. You got 13 parts. Now, 2 parts is water. This is water. And 11 parts, this is all 11 parts. This is, oh sorry, 2 parts cordial. This is cordial. My bad. And 11 parts water. Okay, I'm gonna divide it so you can see clearly. 2 parts cordial, 11 parts water. How much cordial would be needed in making 65 liters of drink? So to make 65 liters, we need how much cordial? Well, let's take 65 divided by, how many pieces does it make to make one drink? 11 pieces, 11 parts. So let's take 65 divided by 11. This question seems a bit strange. Is it really 65? Let me check. Huh. Okay. Alright, so 65 divided by, oh, not 11, sorry. There's 13 parts. 13 parts. So 65 divided by 13 will give me 5 liters. Remember, this is 65 liters. So let me just rewrite that. 65 liters divided by 13 parts will give me 5 liters. So that means each part must be 5 liters. There you go. Now it says how much cordial do you need to make this? So how much cordial? Well, cordial only uses 2 parts. Each part is 5 liters, so 2 times 5, and you get the answer. And the answer has to be on the next page. So cordial. Why is it not writing? Oh, whoops. Okay. Cordial requires 2 parts. Now, 1 part we discovered is 65 divided by 13 will give us 5 liters. 1 part is 5 liters. It requires 2 parts. So you know how many liters we need? Now, for question 11, how many times can 3.5 be subtracted from 24.5? So that means how many lots of 3.5 go into 24.5? So what we do is we do a simple division. 24 and a half divided by 3.5, and we can see how many times 3.5 fit into 24.5. So what you're going to do is you're going to have to divide these two, but these are mixed numerals. So what we do, we change it into improper fractions. 24.5 would be what? 2 times 24, 48, 49 on 2, divided by 6, 7 on 2. Now we're dividing fractions, so just flip the second one upside down, so it would be 2 on 7 times. And then you can simplify, okay? You can simplify this. Look at the 49 and the 7. We can divide them both by 7, so 1 and 7. 2 and 2, we can divide them both by 2, so it'll be 1 and 1. So the answer is, top will be 7 times 1 is 7, bottom is 1 times 1 is 1. So the answer is just 7. 7 of 1 is a whole number, so the answer is 7. There's the answer. Okay. Question 12. What is the difference in temperature of the inside of a freezer at -6 and room temperature of 14 degrees? Okay. So imagine you have a number line. Okay, this is 0 degrees. And here you have -6 degrees, and over here you have 14 degrees Celsius. So what is the difference? How much degrees do I have to go from -6? I have to keep adding to get to 14 degrees. So from here to here is 6, and here to here is 14. So let me just rub this part out here. So how much degrees altogether do we need to add to get from -6 to 14 degrees? What's the difference in the room in their temperatures? Okay. Now question 13. The average of 7 numbers is 3. So imagine you have 7 numbers. Okay, we don't know what they are. I'm going to zoom in here. 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops, sorry. 7. Yep, there's 7 numbers. Now it says that if the average of 7 numbers is 3, so to find the average of these 7 numbers, we have to add them up and we divide it by 7. And the average is 3 because it tells us the average of 7 numbers is 3. Okay. A new number 11 is added. So before we do anything, what is the total of these 7 numbers? The total. So you think of when you add these 7 numbers up in the top part, right? It's going to become one big number. So this big number is then divided by 7, that gives you 3. So what divided by 7 gives me 3? So we work backwards. We say 3 times 7, that's equal to 21. And it makes sense that 21 divided by 7 is indeed 3. So that means that all of these numbers in the top must add to 21. So the total is equal to 21. Okay. Now the next part says, if a new number 11 is added, what's the new average? So imagine you have you got 7 numbers here, which is the total is 21. You're going to add a new number 11. So what's the new average? Well, we have 8 numbers now. And what's the total of 8 numbers? If you add all the 8 numbers up, you're going to get 21 plus 11, isn't it? 21 is the 7 numbers, and the 8th number is 11. So you add them up, you get 21 plus 11. 21 plus 11, and then we divide it by how many numbers we have now? We have 8 numbers, not 7 anymore. We have a new number, and then you can find for me the average, the new average. All right, question 14. Now it says if A triangle B is equal to A divided by B minus B, find 10 triangle 2. So I'm going to write it down here, question 14. Okay, so if A triangle B is equal to A divided by B minus B, what is 10 triangle 2? So every time you see an A, you're going to think it's going to be a 10. So here's A, that's going to be a 10. When you see B, you're going to think it's a 2. So B is 2, so we put divided by 2 minus B again, so minus 2. Get the answer there. Do BODMAS, remember? BODMAS, division must be done first. Now the next one, or this number times 0. What do you think the answer is? what happens when zeros multiply to anything. Okay, that's an easy one. And I think that's done. That is all there is. Okay, hope that helps.